Okay, we're going to be talking about fungi, which for your biotic problems make up about 85% of your problems. They believe there's about 1.5 million fungal species, and they're classified into 6 main groups. However, we're going to just deal with the 3 at the bottom: Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, and Deuteromycetes, or imperfect fungi. And here are some typical Ascomycete and Basidiomycete organisms. They're heterotrophs, so they rely on other things to get their nutrients. There's a number of different cell types, and their cell walls can include chitin, which you can also find in the structure of insects. So pretty tough. So multicellular fungi have long, slender filaments called hyphae. And we have a mass of connected hyphae. It's called a mycelium. It grows through and digests its substrate. Spores are the most common means of reproduction among fungi. They may form from sexual and asexual processes. Most of them are dispersed by wind, but some are by insects or small animals. So spores come from the Latin meaning seed, and there can be various shapes for spores. This is the survival form for fungi. They have very little food reserves, and once they germinate, they form hyphae. And here's a very close look at spores. So what they do is they obtain food by secreting enzymes into their substrates, and they can actually break down cellulose and lignin. Lignin is what makes wood hard, so they're pretty tough. And then some fungi are actually carnivorous, and they actually are beneficial in your soil. They're spread through air, water, insects, and tools. And signs include the spores, which you see here on the left is rust on grass. And on the right we've got mycelium, although you wouldn't see that with the naked eye. Fruiting bodies include these conchs. This is a sign of a wood decay fungus. This is an artist conch. Symptoms include circular spots, sunken areas on stems and twigs. On the left, we've got a Cercospora leaf on hydrangea, and on the right, we've got black rot on grapes. So symptoms include wilt, desiccation of xylem, root rot, stunting, nutrient deficiency, rotting roots. We've got black root rot on the right and verticillium on the left. And so the major types are Ascomycetes, and included in this group are apple scab, powdery mildew, yeast, cankers, leaf spots, vascular wilts, and gray mold. And here's an example of brown rot, which is in this group on a flowering cherry. Basidiomycetes are going to have mushrooms, puffballs, conchs, rust, smuts. This is also where a lot of your mycorrhizal fungi are grouped. And here's a picture of white pine blisterus, I'll talk about when I get to Basidiomycetes. Imperfect fungi, sexual reproduction has not been found. They appear to be closely related to Ascomycetes. We're not really sure. It's iffy if it actually is its own group, but we're going to treat it as such. When you look at your list of diseases, you'll see that they're listed under Ascomycete. Anyway, here's the early blight on potato, not to be confused with the late blight, which is Phytophthora.